Good morning to all. Today I will start third unit embedded firmware. Okay, so actually embedded firmware means we're writing the code that is assembly language code. Maybe we can use the high level language. Okay, embedded C or C++. So that written program is dumped into the particular IC or processor or microcontroller. So that is the firmware. So it will interact with the hardware device and communicate with that device and to perform the particular operations. Okay, so here third unit embedded firmware will cover the topics are reset circuit, brownout protection circuit, then oscillator unit, real-time clock, watchdog timer, embedded firmware design approaches and development languages. So here embedded firmware, already I said embedded firmware means development is basically writing the code which runs on the embedded hardware. Okay, so that means we developed some code. That code is dumped into the microprocessor or microcontroller, so that it will perform the that particular operation or that particular application of the operation. The firmware inside your washing machine or microwave or a refrigerator, it does not seem like a software, but something is in there that controls the sensors, peripherals, motors, timers, etc. So here first topic is the reset circuit. Okay, so whenever you are taking any microprocessor, any microcontroller, so whenever it is hanged, so that time we are using the reset button. So that means it go to initial operation. Okay, to stop the operation and go to initial operation to reset the operation. Okay, so here reset circuit, here we are given the VCC. Whenever I press the reset button, so that time VCC voltage is given to the this circuit. That means capacitor is the charging position. Okay, whenever reset pin is enabled, that time capacitor is the charging position. So what it happen? So here observe here, whenever reset pin is pressed, that time T0 to T1 is the power on. So that means to reset the processor. After that, after T1, so it goes to open the reset button. That means whenever we release the reset pin, so that time power off. That means the processor or controller will perform the initial operation. Okay, it go to initial operation. So that means whenever release the reset pin, that time capacitor is the discharging mode. So that's why here mentioned the T0 to T1 is the reset operation is done. So brownout protection circuit, actually brownout protection circuit, so it will protect the processor or controller. The brownout protection circuit prevents the processor or controller from unexpected program execution behavior when the supply voltage to the processor or controller falls below a specified voltage. So whenever it falls below supply voltage, it will protect that circuit. That means the processor or controller will maintain the always 5 volt supply. So it will not fall below 5 volts because you have the brownout protection circuit. Observe here brownout protection circuit, a brownout situation. So whenever you are taking the master clear, okay, here low level is came, that means trip level. See, the brownout protection circuit, it protect the circuit, it go to it will give the required supply voltage 5 volts. Okay, so an external brownout protection circuit, here observe this circuit diagram. So here MCLR is the clear, so that time is enabled. Here we are using the PNP transistor. So here VDD voltage is given, so the G0 diode is generally the 0.7 volts. Okay, so here it protect the circuit, it will not fall below 5 volts. Okay, so that time it is enabled. So here it conduct the on position, that means it will maintain the 5 volts supply voltage for the processor or controller. So then oscillator unit, crystal oscillators are used to produce the oscillation with higher frequency stability. Okay, so that means if you are taking processor controller, if you are taking the 8055 controller, 805 microcontroller, it requires the 11.059 megahertz. So for that input we have the crystal oscillator. It generate the certain frequency or required frequency to the microcontroller. We require the 11.059 megahertz. It will give the that much frequency to microcontroller. So why we require the frequency, constant frequency to execute the instructions? The instructions is required the frequency. Okay, so suppose if you are taking the move x comma bx, so it will execute the 2 machine cycles. That means 1 machine cycle means, so maybe it take the 1 millisecond. 2 machine cycles means it will be 2 milliseconds. Like that, to execute the instructions, so it required the time period. Time period means the frequency is required. Generally, you know, time period is equal to 1 by f. Okay, so like that we can calculate the time period. Okay, this is the reason why the crystal oscillators are used in the digital systems for generating the clock signals. Okay, since the instruction execution of microprocessor or controller takes place in sync with a clock signal. So observe here oscillator unit. So any microprocessor or microcontroller, here in input you have the oscillator unit, or here we take the resonator. So using the crystal oscillator, here we are using the crystal. So what it do? It generate the frequency. See, with the help of the capacitors, we require the 11.059 megahertz. So that is given to the microcontroller, 8051 microcontroller. Here we have the resonator, but here microprocessor itself we have the clock input. So whenever you are giving the clock input, maybe you can give the 12 megahertz or 14 megahertz, like that. So depend on microprocessor required. Okay, whatever you are using the microprocessor, that microprocessor may be required the 6 megahertz or 12 megahertz, like that. So real-time clock. So real-time clock is the very important. So whenever you are taking general purpose system, whenever you are switch on the system or desktop, we are switch on the desktop. So always it display the current time, current year, current date also. So that and all will maintain in the internally real-time clock. Here observe, here we are taking the embedded controller. Here we have the inside battery backup. So whenever you are taking any application, anyone, so any application circuit, or you can take the small and medium or large applications, so they require the real-time clock. So internally it will maintain the current time, year and all. Okay, so embedded controller, it's and RTC itself we have the I2C bus or SDA SCL. Okay, serial data line, serial clock line. So here you know the I2C means inter-integrated circuit. It will communicate the master to slave devices. Okay, master to slave devices. So here the real-time clock will maintain the current year, time, date and all. So the data is given to the microcontroller. It is the bidirectional. It will communicate the from master to slave, slave to masters, slave to master. Okay. So here real-time clock is a system component responsible for keeping track of time. RTC holds information like current time in hours, minutes and seconds in 12 hours or 24 hours format, date, month, year, day of the week, etc. and supplies timing reference to the system. So RTC is intended to function even in the absence of power. The RTC chip contains a microchip for holding the time and data, time and date related information, and backup battery cell for functioning in the absence of power in a single IC package. So even though application you are not run, or even though if you are not switch on the system, whenever you are switch on the system, so it will maintain the current time, year and date also. Okay, because internally it have the real-time clock, so it have the with the backup of the battery. Okay, battery cell. It have the backup of the battery cell, so that it will maintain the always current time, date, year. So the RTC chip is interfaced to the processor or controller of the embedded system. For operating system based embedded devices, embedded devices, a timing reference is essential for synchronization operations of the kernel, OS kernel. So generally, if you are taking the embedded system, the kernel should be communicate the peripheral devices or communicate the task. So that time we require the real-time clock. That means the real-time clock is very important in processor or controller. Okay, so you can see the suppose if you can take the application Android app, the app what it do. So whenever you are Android app, whenever you are on the mobile, suddenly switch off. Maybe after one day if you are on switch on, so it will maintain the time, current time, year, date, and also with the help of the real time clock, and also it will communicate the task. Okay, suppose we can send the message to others, or we can listen the songs, and also we can saw the videos, and also we can play the games in mobile phones. So here real time clock will communicate the all task. Okay, so it will communicate the task. Okay, here the OS kernel require the real time clock. With the help of the real time clock, it will communicate the all task and perform the operations. So next one is the watchdog timer. Okay, so whenever watchdog timer, so here also to reset the operation, whenever restart, that means here you know the OR gate and AND gate operation. Whenever 1 is came means output is 1. Whenever 0 0 means output is the 0. 0 1 means 1. 1 0 means output is the 1. So that time only it perform the operation. Whenever AND gate, both ones means 1 only. Remaining state is 0. Here observe here initial value counter data out. So whenever here it came 0, that means 1. Whenever enable is 1, so that time output is the 1. It will count the enable. So here 1 restart is the 0. That time output is the 1. So that means the data will communicate the output device, data out. Okay. So watchdog timer. Okay, observe here whenever the program is hanged, that time enable the watchdog timer. That time, so here restart the operation. It go to initial operation. That means system reset. So to reset the system again, it will not hang the and go to initial operation and perform the operation. Here you can take the multiple application here, or you can take the here timer. Okay, that means it perform the system reset. With the help of the we can take the pulse generator. Whenever trigger is came, that time positive trigger came means system will reset. Otherwise it is the system actual operation it will perform. So here it is shows a simple watchdog has a single timer that invokes an immediate computer restart upon timeout. Okay. Thank you. So if you have doubts, ask me. So again I will repeat in class also. Okay, thank you.